From Rochester, New York, the city that knocks 'em dead with Susie B, Freddie D, and the Mount Hope Cemetery, this is FC3 Monkey Business, your one-stop shop for everything geeky. Starring Billy DeTore, Tanya Metris, and Chris Frank in stunning grayscale. And here's your host, Chris Frank.
I do recall hearing that one now.
You know, what's funny to me is because in Stunning Grayscale is kind of it's a reference to black and white television, but Game of Thrones has its version of leprosy is called grayscale. So
either it's black and white or you have leprosy.
Yeah, I'm going to go with black and white at the moment, you know, because
but there's not very much white
leprosy,
on that
pieces
head
keep
of hair of
falling
yours.
off of me.
There's not much white over there.
No, I'm surprisingly not gray yet. I'm wondering how that I got so lucky, but I'm not going to question it too much.
Your mom?
No, because my mom was going gray at 21.
But isn't
actually I started going gray really early too.
Yeah.
But, that's male pattern baldness that you inherit from your mom's side.
Well, that's the thing is,
mom...
if I had gotten my hairline from my mom's side of the family, I should be looking like Jean-Luc Picard right now. But I don't.
That would be sexy.
Well, I don't know. I look like God's roll-on. 6'5", 250, and bald. Are you kidding me? Come on.
You're the Rock.
Yeah, there you go.
The Rock.
Mr. Clean?
That man's bicep is bigger than my waist, okay? No. Mr. Clean. Yikes. All right. Anyway, hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm happy to see
I'm
you
on
guys.
Vacation.
You're on vacation? Congratulations for being on vacation. How was your vacation,
July 8th.
Billy Bill?
It was awesome. I spent a week at Jazz Fest, staying
Nice.
up late like a grown-up, not having to get up at 3:30 in the morning.
That's fantastic.
And how did that feel?
It feels awesome. You know, when I'm on vacation, one of my goals, it doesn't always work, is to not go to bed until Paulie gets up.
And Paulie gets up at what time?
About 2.
About 2?
Yeah.
But isn't he up a couple times during the night anyway with a baby?
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
baby, yeah.
Yeah.
Baby, kids wreck everything.
Well, I know.
So do 5-month-old puppies.
Well, yeah. She's giving me a run for it lately. I'll tell you that much. It's good to have the kids around to help out. Mm-hmm. She's still not used to Ian yet, but her and Jules have bonded. I say when the kids are around, she's Jules' dog, and I just pay for everything. It's basically how it works. And then when Jules is with her mother,
Like a kid.
yeah. And then when Jules is with her mother, then she's like, okay, I'll hang out with you, I suppose. So.
Well, isn't it that Australian Shepherds bond to one person primarily, and then it'll take a while to develop that second bond?
Yeah, they're very loyal and devout dogs.
So
and Jules is the one she picked. It's okay.
Jules is her human,
and I'm perfectly fine with that too. I'm a little bummed, but you know what? I'll get past it. She still has a love machine for me too. She'll cuddle up and whatnot. But anyway, Velcro dog
and sneakers.
And sneakers. Yeah, well, all dogs love shoes. I don't know what it is, but man, they're all about shoes.
You'll have to start putting them in the closet.
Yeah, well, that's what I've been doing. So you guys are on vacation. We were talking about vacation at my office the other day, the day job. A couple people went on vacation recently. And I have gone out of town on trips on 3 or 4 occasions in the past 20 years. But the actual last genuine vacation I've ever taken was in 1997.
Wow.
1997.
22 years ago.
Yes. So I think I'm a little bit, I think I'm due for a vacation soon. I think.
You've taken vacation days where you've been able to putter around the house and get some stuff done at the house, but you haven't taken anything to
I haven't had
relax.
a proper vacation. I think the closest I've ever had to vacation, I was in Florida about
years ago.
5 years ago for a wedding. And I performed at the wedding. And Erica, my ex-wife, was the maid of honor. And so she was busy all day. We were busy all day for getting ready for the wedding. And then there was a span of about 3 hours the day after the wedding where Erica went into town to spend some time with the bride, her friend. And I went to the pool. And I sat by the pool and I listened to music on my phone and I read a book. And then I got up and went back to doing stuff for the weekend. But so I've had 3 hours of vacation in 22 years.
A great nerd vacation. I'm going to recommend one too.
Please do.
Fan Expo in Toronto.
Ooh, there's a good idea.
It's towards the end of August, and it's a nerd paradise for 4 days.
And that's August, you said?
Yeah, towards the end of August.
Right near Labor Day?
They moved it to the week before Labor Day now. So it's FC3 times a billion.
Oh, I know. I've heard.
It's insane, and you'll have so much fun. And any type of nerdum you want to explore, it's there for you.
All right.
And it's I can't recommend it highly enough.
Okay. I'm going to take that recommendation, especially because at the end of August, Labor Day weekend's typically my birthday.
Typically?
Typically.
Well,
because Labor Day rotates around a little bit. So sometimes it's the day before Labor Day. Sometimes it's a couple days after. I think I'm actually on Labor Day. No, last year I was on Labor Day.
Strangely enough, on leap years, it's
second,
Memorial
right?
Day.
Yeah. What's that, Billy?
So strangely enough, on leap years, it's Memorial Day.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, wow. I'm on Labor Day this year. Look at that. Mm-hmm. My mom went into labor on Labor Day.
At least for this year, yeah. So,
and it started out with Jerry Lewis singing "You'll Never Walk Alone," which is odd.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yep. So September 2nd, Labor Day, will be Christopher's birthday.
Yeah, there you go. Let's broadcast that to the world.
49.
49. Yeah. I celebrate my birthday with Keanu Reeves, Selma Hayek, and tennis player Jimmy Connors, among several people.
The John Wick look.
Yes. I think I might be shooting for John Wick for Halloween this year. I'm not sure. We'll see. All right. So a quick announcement, and then we're going to take a break, and then we're going to jump into the business of the day. At this point, we have an announcement about Monkey Business as a podcast. We wish to say farewell to our producer, Sherry Elbersky. Thank you for many months and weeks of tirelessly figuring out how to deal with us morons and bringing us great content and people to interview and things to talk about. Sherry has moved on to other projects, and so we wish her well, wish her awesome success and all the best. But that leaves a little bit of a hole in how we kind of work our magic over at this end of the things. So we are going to start beginning our campaign, because we're D&D players, and
it is a volunteer position.
It's a volunteer. Here's the thing.
Position right now.
Every position in the Mighty Monkey Corporation is a volunteer position. Everybody's doing this for the love of it. So we want to make sure that's clear. But we are looking for a person who would like to step in and be our new producer. So if you have the ability to make connections and call folks and orchestrate content and make sure that we're not using the same question of the day 4 weeks in a row, stuff like that.
Trying to herd these kittens,
and see what you can do to deal with us. That would be great. Let us know. You can email me directly at chris@fc3roc.org, and you can copy Tanya in on that, tanya@fc3roc.org. So let us know if you're interested or know somebody who might be wanting to work with some nerds, and we'll go with it from there. So not a great rush. We're not like one of those deadline kind of things where we have to have somebody by a certain period of time, but we would like to have somebody be able to help us out with that, so that's one less thing we need to worry about. So that's a thing. We no longer have a producer, and we would like to get one. So if you know anybody, or if you yourself are interested, email one of those previously mentioned addresses. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to have a little discussion about anti-heroes, who they are, what they are, and why are they so much fun to watch.
Help! I need somebody.
yes,
not
we need help.
Not just anybody. I need somebody. I'm sorry to our listeners that had to hear me sing. Hopefully they didn't hear me too bad.
You were wonderful.
Oh, thank you. It's not as good as you singing American Pie.
I'm going to try to find another
my
song.
microphone.
Again?
Yes.
It's going limp.
I think that has more to do with Tanya than the microphone.
Hey!
Wow.
That was scalding right there. All right, are we in? We're here? We're
here.
Hello, Newman. The anti-hero.
Oh, no.
Tanya, do you have a definition over there? I saw you looking it up earlier.
They can be a jerk, even have every characteristic of a villain. But because of them, success wouldn't be possible. They're still considered to be good guys.
All right. The classic one right now, the one that everybody's focusing on the most, would be Deadpool. Wolverine is also, in comic book lore, is considered an anti-hero more often than not. Venom. See, Venom was a villain for a very long time. Only recently has he had his renaissance to become kind of an anti-hero.
See, in my head, he was a villain.
Yeah, he's always been a villain.
I didn't know. I missed the part where he became sort of an anti-hero.
I think that's kind of what...
movie.
Yeah, that's what this
new movie.
Oh, but also, here's the thing, is the symbiote that influences Venom was a villain for a very long time when bonded with Eddie Brock. And then he was bonded with... The symbiote was bonded with somebody else. But now it's currently in the comic book lore is bonded with Flash Thompson. You know, the guy who bullied Peter Parker back in the day, but then became a war hero, lost his legs in Afghanistan, I believe, if I'm getting the story correct. and somehow or another bonded with the symbiote, and the symbiote gives him legs and weapons and all sorts of cool stuff, and he's actually joined the Guardians of the Galaxy as a hero. So he's trying to make good for all the things that he's done, which leaves the other symbiotes, Carnage and et cetera, to be the bad guys. But in the Tom Hardy movie, Venom really has become kind of the anti-hero.
It's someone with sort of unlikable qualities who you still sort of wind up liking anyway.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And one of the original, and you'd never think of him as an anti-hero, Archie Bunker.
That's true.
That just popped
what
into
an
my
interesting
head.
thought that is.
Oh my God, he was such a jerk.
He was, but he looked out for people though. That is an interesting, because you don't even think of stuff like that. You think of action and sci-fi and comics and stuff like that are where there's most prevalent.
Well, you look at Clint Eastwood and all those things like High
Dirty
Plains
Harry.
But
High Plains
you
Drifter.
cared about him, and there were times
I
where
did.
he showed his softer side, and
Yeah.
you realize why maybe he was the way he was.
There's a great Mel Gibson movie, Payback, where he plays that guy Porter. That was just a great movie, and he's an he was not a nice guy, right? But he just wanted to make good, and he was plowing his way through the bad guys to get just some sort of satisfaction at the end of the movie. He just wanted that one goal met, and that was it. So what is it about the anti-hero that's so appealing, guys?
They're multifaceted.
In what way, do you think?
And that sometimes a hero like Superman is all good. I think with an anti-hero, you see flaws that are common in everyday people and the people that you run into in real life. And it's not black and white. There's shades of gray, and there are times you like the person, the character, and you root for them, and there's times where you wish they were different.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like looking at it, it's like jumping onto what Billy says. I'm on the most likable movie anti-heroes on Ranker. They possess villainous qualities, yes, but there's usually complex reasons behind their madness. There's a reason why they're doing what they're doing, such as Loki. He was adopted. He was whatever. He was always thought he wasn't necessarily as good as Thor because he wasn't the golden child, whatever. And so he needed to do all those things in order to stand out and things like that. But of all the devilish things he did, he still truly, quote unquote, loved his brother. And you could see it in Thor Ragnarok. Mm-hmm. It's like, should we do help? Did we get help? No,
it's humiliating.
Like
I don't want to do that one.
So you can see where you just can't help but root for them at times.
Would Thanos even be an anti-hero to a particular degree?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he had an actual reason for what he did.
Right. And I think that's what set the MCU apart from so many other comic book movies, is that the villain wasn't your usual two-dimensional, I'm the bad guy, I want to break something, try and stop me. There were reasons. Most of the villains that I've seen in the MCU have always had a reason. Except for Malekith. They kind of cheesed that one in Thor the Dark World, where he was just basically, nope, I want destruction. Break everything.
Even like Dr. Doom. Mm-hmm. The one I was going to bring up, Silver Surfer and Galactus.
Oh, there you go.
My favorite
He's
character,
not a cloud.
the guy that's not a cloud.
He's not a cloud.
He was someone that was leaving his doomed planet and got caught in an energy burst, and he destroyed the planets because he was hungry. Thus,
Right.
I hunger. And he needed a sentinel, Silver Surfer, who offered to be his sentinel in order for Galactus to not devour his world. So Silver Surfer went looking for other planets for Galactus to eat in exchange for Galactus not devouring his world.
Right.
And
Well, when I was talking about this yesterday, because I'm like, oh, what are we going to be talking about? And I'm like, oh, the anti-hero type thing. And so I asked Randy, I'm like, what would be an anti-hero or whatever? And then he's like Deadpool and blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, okay, I can do that. But then I'm looking at this Ranker.com, the movie anti-heroes. The very first one on the list is Han Solo.
An anti-hero. Yeah. I see it. Absolutely.
He was in it for the money.
Yeah.
He was a smuggler. He was like, hey, whatever, the charming, charismatic type thing, but he just wanted to be paid. But he came back at the end and like, okay, but you still see that he's got all those scoundrel type qualities that go through all the movies. But yeah, he ended up becoming the hero, but initially he was that anti-hero.
He just wanted to be a good dad.
Until he got dead. So then the next one is Jack Sparrow.
Okay. Yeah, that's an obvious one.
So then we saw Deadpool, of course. That's a given. I don't know who Tyler Durden is.
Tyler Durden is the Brad Pitt character from Fight Club.
All I know is rule number 1 is you don't talk about Fight Club. So
It's easier for you since you've never seen the movie.
So I think we're going on.
You don't have to talk about that.
Yes.
Go ahead. Moving on.
Jeffrey Lebowski, the dude.
The dude. Yeah. There's an anti-hero.
Is it just because he's sort of lazy? Or
I think so. I think it's more because
what makes him an anti-hero?
Because he's so antisocial. I think. Not so antisocial. He's just so not interested. He doesn't give a rat's ass really more often than not. He just wants to go about his business and be left alone.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah. Well.
Okay. You know. So you're an anti-hero?
Yeah.
Billy's our anti-hero. Who's next?
Then the one that Billy mentioned earlier, Severus Snape.
Oh,
Professor
Snape. Mr. Snape.
Yeah. Yeah, Professor Snape, the anti-hero.
You always wanted to hate him.
He was always supposed to be the villain, and then at the last minute, you find out he's the anti-hero.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, wait, what?
What? Huh? Eric Draven, I'm assuming that's from The Crow?
Yep.
Okay.
There's a very dark story. It's a very interesting one. The comic books and the graphic novels are a lot better than the movie.
There's many of them if you watch wrestling at all. There's a lot of anti-heroes in wrestling.
True.
Aren't they called heels?
No, sometimes they're tweeners, actually. There's a character there's baby faces, heels, and tweeners. The tweeners sort of can run the line between the two worlds. Yeah.
I'm learning something new today.
There you go.
Jules Winfield?
Oh, from Pulp Fiction. That's Samuel L. Jackson's character.
Yeah, both him and John Travolta's character.
Yeah.
Yep.
So see, now we're going totally out of the box than what we thought you were going to do.
Digging it.
The Bride.
The Bride from Kill Bill.
Kill Bill.
Uma Thurman's character. Beatrix with an X. Beatrix with an X, of course, because it's Quentin Tarantino.
No, I might be wrong.
No, it's Beatrice Kiddo.
It is Beatrice. Yes, you're right.
Beatrice Kiddo.
Beatrix was in Harry Potter.
Yes.
Bellatrix
was. She's definitely a villain.
There's no such thing as Beatrix.
She's a villain. She's definitely a villain. Yeah.
All right, so Uma Thurman's character in Kill Bill is an anti-hero because she just wants to kill Bill, and she doesn't care who's in the way. Yeah.
I've actually seen all those movies.
Yes, I have too.
Oh, they're fantastic.
They are.
The Man with No Name.
From
Clint Eastwood.
It's a Clint Eastwood character.
Okay.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Yep. What?
She doesn't like those spaghetti westerns.
Especially The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
The Good, the Bad, and the Wookiee.
Actually, I have one. The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, there you go. There's a misunderstood creature.
Based on The Shape of Water, which is such a good movie.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard about it.
Oh, it's so good.
My mom has seen that movie, and she thought it was amazing. So that tells me something.
Okay. Then they have The Joker.
The Joker is an anti-hero?
I'm not sure about that
I sort of debated that one in my head as I was thinking about it because he has a reason. Him and Batman are like yin and yang. They're the same person, sort of, with different
different delivery.
Yeah.
Does that make your boy himself, Batman, an anti-hero then?
I think so.
He's not just gruff and rude, and
now, Batman's definitely an anti-hero. The Joker thing... To me, what makes a good villain is they almost like Thanos. We brought him up. He has a reason to why he wants to do the things he does. The Joker, maybe because he's crazy like Deadpool. He's insane. He can't help himself. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you feel any sorry at all for the Joker's predicament as a human being?
I think I feel more sorry for the Riddler than the Joker. Or at least
now, is that because of his representation in the Gotham TV series?
In Gotham series.
Because I never really got that feeling of empathy with him in any of the other
Well, I think if
media.
you go back into whatever one, when Jim Carrey was playing the Riddler, that he had all these ideas, but he was just like pushed off to the wayside.
Right.
And he was that weird scientist, and he just was forced to, it seemed to me that, looked down upon because, just like felt odd and out of place, and
so he rebelled.
And so
but
I wouldn't see necessarily him as the anti-hero.
I mean, the Catwoman is actually more of an anti-hero.
Yeah, because she walks that line between, she just wants to get by, but then there's also days where she joins in and she's the hero. Especially like in Anne Hathaway's version of it, you definitely see the anti-hero qualities where she's like very exasperated, but she gets involved anyway to help out.
Or if you've ever read Year One, Frank Miller's.
I did not.
Frank Miller? That
Yeah.
doesn't seem right. Did he write Year One? Mm-hmm. He wrote The Dark Knight.
I'm sure somebody will correct us if we're wrong.
Yep.
And that'll be good.
And I'm just going by this website, and people can agree or disagree with it to their heart's content. Next one would be Leon from The Professional.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Didn't they have Natalie Portman in it?
Natalie Portman was one of her first movie
She was
roles.
little. And then, of course, Loki is the next one.
Okay.
Then the next one is V.
V for Vendetta? Oh, yeah, that's an obvious one. Yeah.
The one I love next, the Boondock Saints.
Oh.
The McManus brothers.
The McManus brothers. Oh, my God, they're amazing. You know, the second movie was not as good
as the first.
Not as good as the first.
But they were like, who?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, going back to sitcoms, because would someone like, have either of you watched The Office?
Not really.
No.
Not well.
Okay. Then I'll
Dwight?
spare
Are you thinking about Dwight?
My theories. No, it was
or
actually
Michael?
not Dwight, Michael, and Ricky Gervais's character in the original British version. Why is his name escaping me? And now Ricky Gervais's character in Afterlife is definitely an anti-hero, but I highly recommend that show. So.
Okay. Next one is Vito Corleone.
Oh, from The Godfather.
Huh.
That's oh God, Marlon Brando's character from the first movie. The anti-hero, huh?
Yeah, I guess that would ride the line
Mob
along
boss.
with Tony Soprano. I'm sure Tony Soprano's on that list. And I guess you do feel empathy for them as heroes. He's trying to protect his family, provide for his family.
So is that the trick, though, is for a person to be qualified as an anti-hero, there has to be some sort of connection to the viewer, to the reader,
so
the
that you
person.
can't help but root for them for some reason.
Mm-hmm. So
Even
otherwise,
sometimes they're despicable.
So otherwise, they're just villains if we can't connect with them. So is that basically the definition between anti-hero and villain is do we have some sort of relatability?
Yeah, Sylvester the cat, when he's chasing a mouse and all of a sudden it's a giant kangaroo. It's frustrating. You get Sylvester's frustration.
The coyote falling over the cliff for the millionth time.
Yeah.
I don't know who Randall Patrick McMurphy is.
What's the...
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
I know it was Jack.
Is that Jack Nicholson's character? Okay.
But I'm just like, I didn't make a connection because I haven't seen the
I have
movie.
never actually... I've never experienced that story in any of its media.
He was
I don't know anything about
troublemaker and an outcast who wound up in an insane asylum and eventually wound up with a lobotomy.
Oh, goody.
Yeah, it's a depressing story, and he wanted to help the other as inmates, the other patients, and sort of explore their lives more and spread out and sort of express themselves more, in sort of a mischievous way sometimes.
Okay, so I'm going to skip a couple. Then they go into Michael Corleone, Ferris Bueller. I'm not
Ferris Bueller is the anti-hero?
Because he was the troublemaker in school. He
really wasn't a villain, though.
No,
That's
he wasn't
the
a
thing.
villain, but
he just got into trouble.
He got into trouble. He sort of egged his friends on to cause trouble. Did you hear that?
Yeah, it's me. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I thought I was doing something wrong over here on the
Did
board.
Mom call you?
Yeah, my mom called me.
Oh,
And
okay.
I just wanted to make sure
Hi,
she was
Mom.
okay.
So then, of course, we I think didn't we mention like Dirty Harry?
Yeah.
So,
not
well,
yet,
it says,
but yeah,
is that Harry
absolutely.
Callahan?
Yes.
Is
Yes.
Dirty Harry? Okay. Then Snake Plissken.
Oh, Escape from New York, such a great movie. Oh, I love that movie.
Escape from L.A., terrible movie, but Escape
Terrible
from New York
movie.
was awesome.
Yes.
So do you see it?
Yeah,
Okay, you
because
can see it.
he was a prisoner, he was a bad guy, but he decided to take a deal where he would be free from prison if he saved the president's life. Manhattan is now a prison in the future, and he had to fight off other criminals. He was a criminal himself, but he'd be given a pardon if he saved the president.
Okay. So then the next one is Celine, which I think is from Underworld.
Dion?
Underworld.
Oh.
No, Selene.
I mean, sure, that Titanic song is awful, but I don't know if that makes her an anti-hero.
No, this is Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale's
okay.
so hot.
She was
So
vampire.
hot.
All right.
Anyway, carrying on.
I don't know who Henry Hill is.
Oh, from Goodfellas.
Yeah, that's Oh, that's Ray Liotta's character,
yes.
isn't it?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Tony Montana.
All right, Al Pacino
Scarface.
from Scarface.
See,
You don't watch mob movies, I can tell.
Yeah.
Seth Gecko.
That's
Is it
from
Wall
Dusk Till
Street?
Dawn.
Oh,
George,
it's George Clooney.
George
yeah.
Clooney's
Okay,
from Dusk Till
gotcha.
Dawn.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Gordon
Yep.
Gekko is in Wall Street. Okay, wrong,
Right.
wrong Gekko.
This one I've seen. But
That's a great one too, by the way, because Clooney is just he's a dick
Yeah.
in that movie. He's just a dick, but he's like that. He wants to protect his brother, and he wants to just survive the night, and he's going to try and take as many people with him as possible to make sure they all get out of there.
Maybe that's something I like about Tarantino movies is that the characters pretty much are anti-heroes. There's very rarely a purely good person in a Tarantino movie.
And when they are, they don't do well in a Tarantino movie. They don't survive very long.
No. There's a new Tarantino movie coming out.
I've heard that.
I'm looking forward to it.
And I know that he's working on a Star Trek movie.
Yes, he is.
And he's promised it's going to be a rated R Star Trek movie, which I can only imagine what the hell that's going to be. A freaking Mexican standoff between the Klingons. I'm just like, oh my God.
I'm assuming this is Gunny Sergeant Hartman.
Oh, Full Metal Jacket. That's Arlie Emery, the now late.
Is that what GNY means? Gunny?
Yep.
Okay.
Gunnery Sergeant. Yep.
Okay.
That's a great character in a very twisted movie.
I don't know how Robin Hood would be considered an anti-hero.
He robs from the rich and steals. He robs.
He's an outlaw. That's a classic definition of it.
Of an anti-hero?
Yeah, that's
outlaw?
the outlaw who just wants to take care of people.
Okay. The next one, Lisbeth Salander.
Oh, the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Oh, okay.
She's a hacker.
Haven't seen that.
And she's like the equalizer kind of a thing. I think she uses her power. But I'm not well versed in those particular stories, but I know that she's a hacker, and that she does a lot to try and protect the innocent. So I'm gonna have to buckle in and check those out sometime. I really am. There's so many things I have to catch up on one of these days.
Okay, Roger Verbal Kint.
Oh my God! For one of my favorite movies of all time, The Usual Suspects. Kevin Spacey's character, this is going to be a spoiler moment right here because that whole movie is basically a whodunit, and they always make it look like it's this guy. Oh, it's this guy. It's this guy, and they always keep referring to this ultimate evil, this Kaiser Sosa, and then you realize at the very last minute that this character is that guy, and it's a freaking amazing movie. It's like one of my favorites of all time.
Let's see.
An anti-hero though.
Mr. Glass in Unbreakable.
Nah, he's just a villain.
Just a villain?
Just a straight-up villain at this point. Because he's manipulating to try and create a situation where I don't think he's got anybody's better interests at heart. It's all ego. It's all selfishness. Yeah. He just wants something for himself. He wants an effect. He wants to create a world.
For a while, he was a sympathetic character, but you're right. It wasn't based on him actually being a sympathetic person.
Right.
He was playing a role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's jump into some TV series. How about Lucifer?
Okay.
From Supernatural or even Lucifer the
TV show. Tom Milligan's Lucifer is definitely an anti-hero. I mean, it's a formulaic crime drama. It's another procedural, but then they put the supernatural nuance into it. It's just fun to watch him in action because he's so gleefully, bent, as it were. Mm-hmm. Now, Lucifer in Supernatural, I would not call him an anti-hero. He's out
for his own.
He's always out for his. There's a plot. There's a reason.
There is a plot, but yes, he's willing to help somebody out
because it's going to further his own plan.
However, Crowley
is an anti-hero I can see because especially towards the end of his run when he started helping the boys more than anything else, and he wanted to become a demon hunter right along Castiel. That was hilarious.
Actually, in TV ones, I think maybe Spike might be one of my favorites.
Spike's a good one, yeah, from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. No, Laura's going, yes, right about now. So, yeah, Buffy. Angel, not so much an anti-hero. He's more just straight-up hero. He's got the hero complex going on. Who else is? Who's next on how many more names on this list?
I skipped a lot.
Oh, you skipped a lot?
Yeah.
Throw another couple more out.
Because some of these are like because it's like the top 100, and some of them I'm like.
Now I need to know what some of those are. Which ones didn't make Tanya's list?
Yeah, I know. Seriously.
Peter Hayes.
Okay, give me some context. What's the name of the TV show?
I don't even know if it's a TV show or what it is. It's just Peter Hayes. Peter Hayes. I don't even know. No reference.
Well, it's Miles Teller is the actor.
I have not a clue.
Why did you even bring it up, Tanya? Jeez.
Because you asked.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was trying to blame you.
I don't know. I don't even know.
Let's find out. We got
You
Google
guys-
at our disposal here.
Okay.
Hang on a second.
So
Let me
then,
just-
the professor from Gilligan's Island.
as an anti-hero?
How is he the
People are
anti-hero?
adding this list of so
Because he can't figure out how to
get off the island.
Yeah. He knows how to make a radio work, but can't fix the boat.
Calvera.
I don't know who that is.
I'm still working on Peter Hayes.
I am too. From Divergent. Okay, so Miles Teller's character in the Divergent series,
okay.
Peter Hayes. So an anti-hero. Yes, because he's a dick for the entire freaking show, or the entire series, but he steps up to be the good guy to help out towards the end, I think is what it was. It's a trope more than anything else. I don't think I would call Peter an anti-hero. I just
haven't
call
seen
him
the series.
Yeah, I would call him a trope more than anything
Unless
else.
you're talking about Peter Hayes, the professor emeritus of history at Weinberg College
Probably
he's
not.
definitely an anti-hero.
at Northwestern University.
Yeah, there you go.
But they had Scarlett O'Hara on here.
Wow, look at that, yeah.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
I don't know who Alex
You know
is.
something?
Clockwork Orange.
I haven't seen it.
I have an admission. I've never seen Gone with the Wind.
I saw it once, but I was very young at the time. That Alex is Malcolm McDowell's character from Clockwork Orange.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
Would not consider him, in my personal opinion, would not consider him an anti-hero. I'd just consider him a villain that was glorified.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he has the crap that happens to him towards the end, or things that transformed him into the character he was. You can kind of sympathize to a point, but I think that's more of a transformative thing from normal person to villain. You're watching somebody descend into madness rather than
but then
Being mad and coming out and helping at the end. So, would you say, was it Cable?
Cable from
Deadpool?
oh yeah, the X-Man,
X-Man, the double X-Man,
XXL.
yeah, the triple X-Man.
Listen, Thanos, pump the hate brakes.
Let's see, who else would we have? I know, like Don Draper. I never saw Mad Men, but
No,
neither
did I.
him. Let me pull up my list right now. Anti-heroes.
I was trying to.
Doesn't matter.
The website is taking too long to load.
Here, classic sci-fi fans. I got a name for you. Tell me what he is. Harcourt Fenton Mudd.
Oh, Harry Mudd from Star Trek.
Yep, from the original series. What do you think? Anti-hero or just a dumbass?
He was more comedic relief in my world.
Yeah.
Whereas right now I'm looking at a separate list where I'm seeing like Erica Kane from All My Children.
Oh my God, Susan Lucci's character. The anti-hero.
Stefano DiMero.
I guess. I mean, Dexter's coming up on a lot of lists.
Okay. He's a serial killer, but he only kills bad people.
But Cartman on South Park.
Cartman is the anti-hero? No, oh God.
Let's see what it says. Racist, homophobic, misogynist, and occasionally just plain murderous. Pity poor Scott Tenorman. The demonic child of South Park, Colorado, has spent over a decade as a walking, talking, epithet-hurling avatar for everything extremist in contemporary America.
Mm-hmm.
That's her description of Eric Cartman. But
That
he's
is an
still
excellent description.
kind of someone you root for, I guess, on South Park, or he's people's favorite characters by any.
Well, I think it's because he's the most expressive of them all. He's the one that says what everybody's thinking, but
It's because he doesn't have a hood over his face, covering up his dirty words.
Mm-hmm.
How about Ralph from Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah, I can see that. It's kind of a more fun
I
definition
went
of
to
the
like the
anti-hero.
top 10 Disney anti-heroes.
Uh-huh. Okay, top 10 Disney anti-heroes?
Elsa was number 10.
All right, Stitch, I'm assuming, is on that list.
They didn't put him on there, but yeah, I would say
Stitch is definitely an anti-hero quality.
Sean had posted a Stitch.
Who else is on the
meme
Disney top 10?
It was Meg,
Uh-huh.
Hercules,
Okay.
Maui from Moana,
Haven't seen that one yet.
Cusco,
Okay.
Iago,
Uh-huh.
Oh, the parrot.
the parrot,
I finally know one. I've been out of my Disney, I guess.
Jack Skellington.
Oh, from
Okay.
Nightmare
Yeah.
Before Christmas.
Uh-huh. So we're looking at the themes, we've touched on it already a couple of times. We're looking at people who are not looking exactly. They're not looking at the world in we'll say in a mainstream fashion. They're not interested in being part of society. They're not interested in doing the right thing. They're not interested in blink bunnies and fun things and balloons and stuff like that. But there is a journey that these characters have, and there's an outlook that they have, and there's almost like a moral center or that is either possessed or learned that may be off-center from the rest of society, but it points them in the direction where they can do something maybe positive or something helpful in even despite their overall antisocial nature. Is that philosophical enough? How does that sound? Was that sound intellectual?
Well,
oh my God.
Here they have Louis Bloom, Nightcrawler.
Okay. Wait, what?
As an anti-hero.
Louis Bloom? Who's that? I don't know that name.
Is it from the movie Nightcrawler?
Yeah.
Okay.
Played by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because when you say Louis
X-Men.
Bloom and Nightcrawler, they didn't fix because I'm thinking Kurt Wagner.
Yeah.
No.
Who is definitely not an anti-hero.
No.
Okay, what about The Watchmen?
The Watchmen is seriously anti-hero.
Mm-hmm.
All
Especially
of them.
Rorschach.
Oh, God, Rorschach all the way.
Hellboy.
Hellboy is definitely an anti-hero. I can see that.
Punisher.
They have
obviously.
Sherlock Holmes.
Punisher, Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes. What, Chris? You're more of a
Holmes.
expert on Holmes. Cocaine addict.
Heroin.
Okay.
Yeah, but he was an addict, and because he knew he was the thing about Sherlock Holmes is not only was he smarter than everybody else in the room and more observant than everybody else in the room, he knew it. He knew it beyond a shadow of a doubt that he was the smartest man in the room at any moment in time. And I think Benedict Cumberbatch's rendition was a lot more poignant in that regard than Jeremy Brett's rendition of it, where Basil Rathbone was always the dashing hero, right? But Jeremy Brett and Benedict Cumberbatch brought the fact that this was a damaged, flawed man who had an ego the size of Kansas, all right? And he did not have a problem with flaunting that in people's faces. He had it under control. He knew who the bad guy was. He knew the good guys. And he didn't care if people got sacrificed along the way while he was tracking down the villain. So, yeah, Holmes is definitely a good anti-hero, in my opinion.
I was laughing because they have Magneto.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. There's a classic one.
Yep.
Absolutely.
What else was a little
but I think that's one of the great... Godzilla is the anti-hero.
Absolutely.
Hands down.
I thought
Hands
of that.
down.
I thought of that over the week when I was thinking about this topic, and Godzilla popped in my mind. And especially in the most recent movie, I don't know if you guys have seen it.
I haven't seen it yet. No, I'm waiting for it to come out on video.
B monster movie.
The new one with
no, this is definitely an A-list monster movie. Yeah.
I'm still not a monster movie
It's
person.
Big, Dumb, and Beautiful. That was my favorite review of it so far.
But it's to quote a line, a scientist goes, "So we're supposed to make Godzilla our pet?" No,
we're his.
We are his pet.
I'm pretty sure we're his pet. Yeah.
So then, of course, the Punisher.
Who we hinted at. And I think that's one of the things that MCU, Marvel, not just the cinematic universe, but Marvel as a comic book production company has done really, really well is making these characters that have depth and meaning and purpose. And sometimes they are the villain, and they have just as much story and connectivity as the hero does. DC, you're better at DC than I am, Billy, so I don't know if DC has characters that you can really kind of relate to in that regard.
They have over the years. Back in the 50s and 60s, and even earlier, it was black and white. Who was good, who was bad.
Right.
But ever since, say, the mid-70s, early 80s, with like The Killing Joke, and where Batman got darker, and The Watchmen showed up, and Green Arrow and Green Lantern were the hard-traveling heroes, and Green Lantern was sort of a what's the word? He had some issues with Green Arrow, where he was sticking up for the lower class people who were having trouble in society, whereas Green Lantern was more towards the business, the authority figures.
Okay.
And they sort of had to work that out. So as time moved on and things got more political, or society changed, DC definitely did stuff with that. So
They even have Dean and Sam on here
As anti-heroes?
as anti-heroes.
I can see that. I can see that to a particular... I would call Sam more heroic than his brother, because Sam's more of the thoughtful, empathic one, except for that stretch of time where he lost his soul. But still, you know, I see Sam as more striving to be, you know, to do the right thing all the time, where Dean is the hunter.
Right.
You know, I'm going to save the people, but I'm going to be an asshole while I'm doing it, is basically it's as far as he's concerned.
Tony Soprano showed up on here.
Yep, who we talked about. We made a mention to him earlier.
John Constantine.
All right. Yeah.
Jack Reacher.
Okay. Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Jack Bauer.
Jack Bauer from 24, yeah.
Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Nowadays, is almost everyone an anti-hero? Because
I think that's a society we want. We want dirty. We don't want perfect. We want flaws. We want them in our in our
they even
TV
tried
characters.
to turn Superman into an anti-hero.
And I think that's where DC got it so wrong.
Yeah.
Was, you know, you have to have that one kind of access point, and they turned Wonder Woman into that access point, but they completely neglected that Superman has been that beacon in the middle for so long.
I'm glad to see that DC's finally they've made 3 good movies in a row now with Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and
Justice League.
Shazam.
Shazam. And that's just in my opinion. Some people didn't like Shazam or Aquaman,
It gave me the
but
feels.
I loved both of them. So
I think Jason Momoa's version of Aquaman is a touch anti-hero just because of his overall attitude, but I wouldn't call him like a full-on
Anti-hero.
Yeah, but it definitely has a hint of it. There's definitely some qualities to it.
I don't know if anyone else has seen it, but it says Emily Thorne in Revenge.
I never really saw it. No. It's really kind of a very long-range Count of Monte Cristo knockoff, isn't it? Isn't that show? Like something bad happens to her, and then she goes on this big, huge plot to get back at everybody?
Yeah, because her dad was framed by the rich people in the Hamptons and things like that, and she gets sent off to like foster care or whatever, and she was like kind of psycho a little bit, and her dad went off to prison for embezzling or something when she didn't technically do or whatever. And so when all the investments and money and stuff was left to her, and then she just came back and started taking them out one by one by one.
That sounds like a very Count of Monte Cristo-esque kind of story. So yeah, I can see that.
Another one that killed me, Grant Ward.
Right, the turn. But no, he
Damn
didn't.
you, MCU!
But he didn't really turn back, did he?
No.
I mean, he was hero, and then he went villain, and then he kind of stayed there. And I don't really.
And you saw like little hints, but I don't know if it was just playing. And then Malcolm Reynolds.
Well, yeah, classic.
Is he an anti-hero, or is he just sort of cavalier and fun? I don't see him. He doesn't have bad. Well,
he will skirt the law in order to.
I guess so.
It's the way he skirts the law, the way he flouts authority, but try to hurt the innocent, and more importantly, try to hurt one of his crew.
Yeah, I guess you're right in the sort of Robin Hood way.
Yes, he very is. That's exactly kind of how he feels. Is a Robin Hood type of a character. But if you're a bad person doing bad things and you're hurting somebody, he'll do something about it. He does not turn a blind eye easily.
Another one I liked, Oscar the Grouch.
Oh, I love that call. Absolutely.
That's awesome. That's fantastic.
Just because a fellow likes trash, loves trash.
Oh, he's such a grouch.
Yeah. Oh, Oscar.
That's hilarious.
That's a great one.
Al Bundy.
He's just a suffering idiot.
Yeah. Sometimes there's a fine line between stupid and anti-hero.
Yeah.
Maybe going back to Michael Scott on The Office. But because they don't mean, like sometimes with an anti-hero, sometimes like you said, they mean to hurt someone. Whereas I don't think Michael or Al Bundy mean, well, Al Bundy has cutting remarks for his bonbon eating wife.
Yeah. Well, there is a fun scene. Early in David Boreanaz's career, he had a reoccurring role on Married with Children playing Kelly's boyfriend.
Okay.
Just for a couple of episodes. But there is an episode. There is the episode where he's basically busted cheating on Kelly, and they're all in a movie theater together.
Oh yeah, I've seen
right?
that.
And Kelly's trying to be all mature and roll with it, and just kind of like, okay, I'm just accept this is just a thing, and I'll move on. And then she goes, "Daddy, kick his ass," or something like that, and he just goes
like,
without
okay,
even hesitating.
okay,
without
pumpkin.
hesitating, I'll go, okay, and he gets up and he goes to the back of the theater and beats the crap out of David Boreanaz's character, and then just goes back to his business as if nothing else had happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have that moment like that, but you see his dedication to his family.
Is Married with Children and The Simpsons a whole shows of anti-heroes?
Oh, absolutely.
As opposed
Just
to Happy
weird
Days.
character. Well, Happy Days, you don't have an anti-hero in the... Well, Fonzie.
Fonzie started out as one, but then he turned into a superhero
Yeah.
with a leather jacket.
Yep. And then jumped the shark. Literally.
Yeah. After garbage cans.
Exactly. But yeah, Bart Simpson.
Homer.
Homer.
Simpson. Yeah.
They had Homer on here.
Where-
Valkyrie in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't see her as anti-hero. I see her as somebody who went through the disillusionment of defeat, the disappointment, and lost her faith, and then had to climb back to it. But once she climbed back to it, she's back to full bore.
She was basically Fat Thor.
Yeah,
Except pretty.
yeah. There's that. So I see that as the journey of the hero rather than anti-hero. Because she was happy just being the scavenger at that point. I don't think she was doing anything heroic. She was just trying to survive when he found her. So I don't know if I'd call Valkyrie an anti-hero.
What about Hulk?
Hulk is an anti-hero, yeah. Hulk smash. Hulk
I have
smash.
an army. We have a Hulk.
Yeah, I can see Hulk as an anti-hero. Right up to, the movie rendition of him right to the end, suddenly in the last movie, now he's the combo.
He's smart Hulk.
Yeah, he's got everything from Bruce and the Hulk all wrapped up in one package. That's not an anti-hero. That's Bruce Banner with muscles at this point. So, was he less strong in that hybrid form?
He was
No,
more
because
like,
didn't he?
I'm not
he-
going to hit something. Oh, I'm not going to like.
Yeah.
He was less aggressive. I think equally as strong though.
Okay.
Because at one point, didn't he have the whole something on his, like a mountain on his
Oh,
shoulders?
he had a building on his shoulders
Yeah.
because they'd. Okay, yeah. So I saw that. Okay, but it was Giant Man that got him out of that particular predicament. But yeah, he was holding up a very large section of building with that. I'm just curious. I was wondering. It was a
I
thought.
think he's less aggressive.
Yeah.
as smart Hulk, less likely to smash.
Right. He's not the force of nature.
Just blind, like a blind rage.
Let's
Because
see.
you wouldn't like him when he's angry.
Well, Wolverine said it best. Is there was this whole thing? I can't remember what issue it was, but I do remember the quote because people put it into a meme a while back, where Wolverine talks about fighting the Hulk, and there's not many accounts of being hit by the Hulk looks like or feels like because there's not many people who can survive it. Of course, with his regeneration ability, he can tell you what it's like to be hit by the Hulk.
oh yeah.
And he's like, he goes, that's when you realize you're going toe to toe with a walking earthquake. And I thought that was just the greatest comment ever. One anti-hero to another, Wolverine and Hulk together. There's a pair of them right there.
Yeah, that's an interesting pairing too.
Yeah. So,
But what about like a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Zaphod Babelbrox?
not an anti-hero, just a buffoon who's just he's a foil. I see Zaphod not as a hero or a main character. He is a catalyst. He's a thing because he's a good time Charlie. He just wants to go about his business, do his thing, have fun, move on. I don't know, when it looked like he had an actual intelligent plan, it was because it was given to him by somebody else. Really?
See, I while looking at lists in preparation for this, I saw Arthur Dent on one of the lists, and I don't see that as either.
Yeah, the reluctant hero is what I would call Arthur Dent. I wouldn't call him an anti-hero because Arthur's too proper and nice to exhibit any true anti-hero qualities. But he goes about his business because it's British stiff upper lip. He's all right. Well, I'm in this situation. I'm going to make the most of it. Onward and carrying on, I guess. And just try to just get by and find a good cup of tea in the process.
Jaime and Tyrion Lannister.
Jaime and Tyrion Lannister.
I don't watch Game of Thrones. Were you guys Game of Thrones?
Yeah,
people?
I watched it. I watched it all the way to the end.
I'm just saying, in regards to literature, they had him.
Jamie.
They had both Jamie and Tyrion as considered anti-heroes.
Tyrion I could see because of the way his story unfolds. Jamie is a cautionary tale on fighting your better nature. And that's because if you go all the way, again, spoiler moment, you see Jamie being the dickhead at the beginning, and then he kind of goes through this journey, but then he fails at the finish line. He turns back. So it's not, he's moving towards trying to do the right thing. I wouldn't call him anti-hero because he wasn't doing it in a questionable fashion. He was trying to play within the rules and understand his place in it better. But then he regresses at the end. So it's more of a journey aspect than an anti-hero aspect, in my opinion.
Okay, you guys are both gamers. Are there anti-heroes in gaming?
Oh, absolutely.
It's called anti-balance. Oh, wait, no,
that's just evil. No, and it's going to depend on the player and the character they want to play at the moment. Because I played the heroic types.
Hunter's
very much playing an anti-hero in your Thursday game.
Hunter's a cleric on our Thursday game. She's like all out for herself, and then she's like, crap.
Yeah,
now
I got to do something right.
She had to cast restoration or whatever on Sean in order. She's like, I don't carry these spells.
Yeah, and I think that's a point of play. I mean, like I said, it depends on the player, it depends on the character, it depends on the outlook and the situation. But anti-heroes in the gaming world, very easy to do. Very, very easy to do.
Chaotic neutral. You just sit back and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll help you. Maybe I won't.
Chaotic good, even. Chaotic good can even do that. Yeah. So... But yeah, gaming.
Sean's very good at
movies, TV, literature.
Your real life.
Real life.
And my favorite cartoons.
Such as?
Well, Wile E. Coyote and...
Wile E. Coyote and Sylvester the Cat.
Sylvester the Cat and all those guys.
Is Fred from Scooby-Doo an anti-hero? Because really all he's trying to do is find alone time with Daphne. But along the way...
I never thought
That's just an opportunist.
Yeah, it's being an opportunist.
Come on, let's just get it straight.
Actually, Scrappy Dude just wants to fight, and he sucked as a character.
Yeah.
He was just annoying.
Yeah, that's true.
So comic books, I wonder if they... now video games, I never went further down on this list.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch? Anti-hero?
The new one.
Not so much the old one?
Not so much. The old one is all like kind of goody-goody type thing. But yeah, I'm like looking at the video game ones. Dante from Devil May Cry series. Don't know it.
Star Killer from one of the Star Wars series.
Jaina Proudmoore. No, just kidding.
Jaina Proudmoore, her story did end as a kind of an anti-hero.
Yeah.
She was full-on hero, but she...
Right now she's still hero for me.
Slipped back.
Yeah.
Well, she'll always be one of my heroes. I love that character. I think it's amazing. So you think we've greased most of this out of this one?
I think so.
Let's take a break.
Take a break.
Oh, Spawn.
Yeah, Spawn's an anti-hero. That's definite. And dear listener, if you have anybody else, feel free to jump that into the conversation online. We'll talk to you about it on Facebook or whatever.
What the heck is Fritz the Cat?
Oh, Ralph Bakshi did a cartoon in the early to mid 70s. It was actually an X-rated cartoon, but not pornographic. It just was very scatological, and he was like a Looney Tunes character to the nth degree. There's like racist and sexual jokes and all kinds of stuff in there. So,
and Wikipedia,
but it's a cult classic.
Wikipedia agreed Batman is anti-hero.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, especially from like
the comics,
the killing joke on, basically. So,
and we'll be right back.
Do you know this song, Tanya?
I don't. I don't recognize it. Is it going to pick up soon that I'll recognize it?
There's a lot of versions of it that have come out in recent years that are much faster. The beats up a little bit, they ramp it up a little bit more. But this is one of David Bowie's more popular songs. It's actually one of my favorite David Bowie songs. Also,
I can honestly tell you right now, I don't know what it is.
Jacob Dylan and his band did a cover of it for a Godzilla movie.
Okay, I haven't seen a Godzilla movie.
It was big during like 9/11. A bunch of bands did it.
There's a version of it that I've played often. When you're over at my house, you'll hear it because I play it often. It's in my YouTube mix.
It's great. It's not something I recognize.
Fantastic song.
Because David Bowie never did a song called Anti-Heroes here.
So we're going to go Heroes. Okay.
Itches won't stop.
Uh-oh, what itches?
Back of my hand.
Well, it's usually the palm of your hand is for money. What does the back of your hand mean?
I mean, I'm still friggin' broke.
Did you get bit by a radioactive spider? A cool thing's going to start happening?
Dog.
A radioactive dog.
Oh.
I wish. I am Dogman Wolf. My ultimate power of peeing on everything.
I wonder what the powers of a dog would be.
I just
chewing
start chewing on my own damn shoes.
Ew.
Let's see. You have the powers of a dog.
Hearing, smell.
Hearing, sniff, drooling.
Libido.
Okay, cool. I'm in for dog, man.
Peeing on everything. Anyway.
Sniffing at every fire hydrant.
Hey, Tanya.
Hey, what?
Let's shift gears. Do we have an event coming up, Tanya?
We do have an event. In addition to, if people have been listening to us and checking out our Facebook page, you've noticed that we have been having Tuesday night game nights at the 585 Rock and Burger Bar. In addition to those game nights on Tuesdays, on July 27th from 6 to 8 that night at the 585 Rock and Burger Bar, we are going to have our cosplay karaoke.
Cosplay karaoke.
And I hear Billy's probably going to come out and sing.
Yay.
I'd love to.
I would love to have you come out and sing for us. So yes, from 6 to 8 that night, cosplay karaoke at 8:30. The band Wicked will be taking the stage from about 8:30 to midnight, and then at midnight we're going to continue partying on inside. Maybe we'll play some games at that point.
Again, the date on this?
It's Saturday, July 27th, and that's from 6 to 8. However, if you have nothing else to do during that day, earlier from 10 to 6 at the Mall at Grease Ridge
Center,
which is right near me. I may come to that and then ride with one of you to the karaoke.
In the movie theater wing, we are having our 4th annual mini-con from 10 to 6. So we're going to have vendors, and we're in the next to Lollipop Farms. And then from noon to 4, wrestler Dalton Castle will be in, taking pictures, signing autographs, selling merchandise. You can come hang out, meet him. Photos, autographs, merchandise will be a fee, but other than that, MiniCon is free. I think we're going to still have our cosplay contest there. We'll have our cosplay parade for the kids, but it's only one day this year.
Yep.
Only
we're not doing
on
a 2-day.
Saturday. And then, as I said, Saturday night, cosplay karaoke. We'll have a 50-50 raffle. We'll have raffle baskets. $5 cover to get in for the night, which we think is pretty reasonable. Or at least I think.
I agree.
Because any other bands that play at the 585 Rock and Burger Bar usually has a $10
Very
cover.
covery.
So $5 cover charge, but come out, hang out with us that day. Check out our website, FC3. Is it FC3ROC?
FC3ROC.com.
I'm always usually going to our email, so to jump over to our website, I just Google FC3, and you can get to our website to sign up for the song that you want to do for cosplay karaoke. Because we only have a 2-hour window, so make sure you get in because it's
we want the DJ to have everything lined up.
First come, first serve, so to speak. No 13-minute Freebird song.
I was just going to mention Freebird.
As he was singing American Pie, whatever. So any questions, feel free to shoot us a message. You can shoot.
See, now would I be able to do Shine On You Crazy Diamond? Because there's only like 2 minutes of lyrics on Shine On You Crazy Diamond.
And there's like an 18-minute version of that, too.
Well, you can do the 2-minute version of lyrics.
Just
and then
standing
you're
there
done.
for 16 minutes, and then you sing for a little bit, and then you stand there for another 16 minutes.
Well, it's like was it Paradise by the Dashboard Light? That's a pretty long one.
I love that song.
That's
I
a
love
great
that
song.
one.
Will you take the female vocal?
Absolutely.
Let me sleep on it.
And then if I start working on it now,
Baby.
I can do the Phil Rizzuto part.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh, was that the baseball?
The sport, the announcer.
You know what? I sang that with Sherry. We nicknamed it Paradise by the Console Light.
Yep.
Because we spun it to like a Star Trek reference.
Yes.
So, but I
that.
think I've hit everything that we need to do for events.
Yep. That's good.
Yeah.
And do you want to be a part of this wild party called Monkey Business?
Absolutely. How?
We talk about it all the time. We've got our Patreon, which is going to be becoming much more and more used. You can start seeing things popping up.
You're writing for that, right?
I have been writing for that, yes. And also sponsorships. And it's sponsors at FC3ROC.org. If you want to sponsor us, if you want to help us build this business up even further, let us know. Reach out to us. Sponsors at FC3ROC.org.
They can also jump in on help at FC3ROC.org.
Or they can reach out to us on our Facebook, or they can...
Or Tanya.
Or they can come
Chris,
talk to us at 585 Rock and Burger Bar every Tuesday.
Tuesday nights?
On Tuesday nights, because we're going to be there. You know, or you can...
Great food.
Or you can comment on Facebook links. You can just... There's a million ways to get a hold of us.
Just walk down the streets of Rochester and go,
Nerd World News on Monday
there you go.
nights.
Nerd World News on Monday nights.
Interact
So let's see.
with us.
We're coming close to having like a week of programming at this point. We got Monday Nerd World News. We got Tuesday Game Night.
Wednesday's
and Tuesday, but here's back up real quick because Tuesday is also the regular release of James Irish's video game blog. So we got Tuesdays are busy. Wednesday is podcast day.
Thursday's my gaming day.
Thursday's gaming days sometimes, and so we just need to work on Thursdays and Fridays, and then we'll have a full week of programming that you can experience on a regular basis with us. So maybe that's a good reason to sponsor us, because then we'll find ways to fill in Thursdays and Fridays. So there you have it. I've always got ideas. Maybe
like a movie night.
Maybe a movie night or something. That would be fun.
That'd be fun.
Be good. All right. So question of the week. Tanya Fabulous.
Oh, wait. I don't think
What fictional traditions or ceremonies do you wish were covered or observed in regular life? Which fictional traditions or ceremonies do you wish were observed?
I don't know, but I think what would be funny was the statue was on Ryza.
Oh, yeah, the Horgon. So basically, you want to walk through Jazz Fest with a Horgon and just say, hey, Clothesline Arts Festival, Park Ave Fest.
No, only the Trekkies would get it.
Tanya's getting
I don't know, but I just think that would be kind of funny.
That is wild coming from you, by the way, because you know what that's asking for.
I know what that's
asking for. You want to get some. She want to get some. That's funny.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Anything else coming to mind?
No, I've been thinking about this at least between yesterday and today, and...
You know, I posted that damn question to our podcast board like a week and a half ago. Come on,
Does that
I
mean
gave
I
you
have
time.
to read it?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Like, yes.
I read it then.
Me being the person who never does the homework.
I know, no kidding. So I read it then, and then I had real life get involved. And then I read it again yesterday, and then again this morning, and I'm still drawing a blank. So I just thought that one was funny.
Carrying around a Horgon, that would be a good thing.
I couldn't remember what it was called.
How about you, Billy?
Come back to me.
I'll come back to you on that one.
Okay, this may actually be a thing in pop culture. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. Do you know Sadie Hawkins Day?
Yes. I've heard of that.
How do you know it? Because it originally originated in Little Abner comic strips.
The first I ever heard of it, there was a reference to it in a Star Trek episode where somebody talked about a Sadie Hawkins dance at the Academy.
And that was a thing. Like, I don't know if they actually exist or not, but...
I want to say when, not when I was in high school, but when Tyler was in school, they had like a Sadie Hawkins Day. I think it was like in October or something that you had a dance. So it was the girls asked the boys.
And I'm wondering how. Well, it started in Little Abner in the 30s, and at some point became maybe a real thing.
I think
or
so.
Adopted, and I don't know if it still exists. But as a shy nerd,
so life imitated art.
I would really liked if girls had talked to me more. Or I would have gotten an idea which ones actually liked me and which ones didn't, because I was in general too shy to talk to them. So
Yeah,
I'm going Sadie Hawkins Day.
That works. That's kind of cool. I'll take it. For me, I have done some research on this holiday that I'm about to talk about, and I've discovered that it actually kind of has been pulled into existence because there's a lot of people who have been inspired by it. The first time I was exposed to it was through a webcomic called Crit Alt Delete. It's called Winter Miss. All right, and it takes place usually in the block between Christmas and New Year's. Sometimes Hanukkah is involved, and it's basically a gamer's holiday. It's 7 days of just gaming and sharing games with your friends, and it's all centered around that midwinter kind of a moment where everybody's together. We're all having fun. And we're just celebrating video games. And I think that'd be just hilarious to be able to do on a regular basis. I would love to do like an FC3 Winter Miss. So that's my vote, at least. Of course, there's also, if you go Star Trek lore, going to weddings naked, that'd be hilarious. Like a Betazoid wedding.
There's a First Contact Day, Federation Day.
Oh, yeah, nice. Oh. Federation Day. May the 4th be with you is a thing that exists these days from Star Wars.
I mean, people, not people, nerds say that to each other and annoy non-nerds with
You know what's amazing to me? I went to my first Mass in ages recently, a couple weeks ago when my daughter went through her graduation ceremonies at Aquinas. The opening of it is a baccalaureate Mass, and it's the first Mass I really sat in a long time. And they've changed the traditional wording. So when they say peace be with you, and how we always say, and also with you, it's now something completely different. And because I started breaking and also with you, and everybody else is saying something different around me, I'm like, I better shut up. I'm the lapsed Catholic over here. But it's like, I wonder if the Catholic Church responded to the fact that may the force be with you, and also with you. No, we want to separate ourselves from that.
I been to a couple funerals that have been a full Mass. And that's when I've been noticing.
I would wonder what the impetus for that change was, just out of curiosity, because the church doesn't change for anything typically.
Yeah, it was just.
It was odd, but it was funny. It was funny. I just start busting into the knee-jerk response. I'm wrong. Never mind. I'm going to stop talking now. May this be with you, and also with no. May the force be with you. There you go. May the force be with you always. So you got anything to add to this particular conversation, or are you going to tap out over there, kiddo?
I'm looking in. I think I'm tapping out.
Just go ahead and tap out. Get it over with. So we're going to just jump to the end because we have reached the end of More Monkey Business.
What about Festivus?
Festivus for the rest of us. That's actually legit now. People have been following that lately. So this has been Monkey Business, a product of the Mighty Monkey Corporation, purveyors and producers of the Flower City Comic Con. Coming at you in mini form in 3 weeks. July 27th at the Grease Ridge Center Mall, followed by cosplay karaoke and the band Wicked at the 585 Rockin' Bar. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us wherever we go, and we'll lead you to where the entertainment is. Happy birthday, America, tomorrow. July 4th. Love it. See, did I slip that in? Did you like that? I was very patriotic. I slipped it in.